Alright, so it looks like Union's coming back with another round of Jordan 1s this year. A very popular and very demanded Jordan 12 may be making its return. And I have to ask, did the Croc jump over the Jumpman? All of that and some sneaker releases coming up on this episode of Coffee Time Kicks. Let's get into it. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Coffee Time Kicks. Of course, my name is Mike from sneakerhistory.com. And guys, this is your weekly short form sneaker news, so that way it's easy to digest for you. You're not having to go search it. Now, last week I had a pretty good response to the first video, so I think I'm going to keep doing these little series for you. But one thing I got requested was to, I guess, drink more coffee, so I'll do that first. And it's kind of hard when you talk, I guess, but also to talk about the coffee I'm drinking. So first off, I'll show you guys the mug. My son got this for me a couple years back, I think for like Father's Day or my birthday, I can't remember, but super nice mug. I love Spider-Man if you guys hadn't seen my background, and it's huge, so I can fit a lot of coffee in here. But the coffee that is inside today is actually for my Texas folks because there's no one else who has this grocery store that I know of, but it's the HEB brand Cafe Au Lait, Hub City Blend, Cafe Au Lait, HEB. They do their coffee very well, one of my favorite coffee brands. I'm not any kind of coffee snob or connoisseur, but I know good coffee and they do it very well there. But if you guys ever have a brand, a type of coffee you want me to try on the show, send me a link down below. I'll order it, I'll try it. I'm always looking for a new coffee to add to the collection. So that is our coffee part of the talk. Now let's get into the kicks. Now first things first, Union. We all know them, we all love them. They do a heck of a job putting together a collaboration. And one of the most well-known and most well-received, I think, was the Jordan 1 from a couple years back. They did two versions of it in a high form, and now we're getting 3 Jordan 1s this year. Now, that is good news, I guess maybe bad news for those looking for that $1,000 Jordan 1 that, they're not looking to break the bank for on the resale market, because 2 of those Jordan 1s that'll be coming back are gonna be a low AJKO, which I'll have pictured on the screen for us. Now, at first, I was a little taken aback because I'd never seen a low AJKO, but after more looking and just really seeing them more and more, I actually think I like them, so I'm pretty excited to see what this has to offer in hand. But there's one that's not shown, and that is going to be to those Jordan 1 heads, a very, very, anticipated sneaker, and it's a Jordan 1 high. Now, there's a Jordan 1 high coming out this year from Union, but according to a good friend of the podcast, good friend of the show, Mr. Unloved Ones, it's not gonna look like anything that we've seen before. So don't think we're gonna get like a Shadow Royal blend that was done up the same way they did the last collection. Apparently we're getting something completely different, and I'm here for it. I'm glad that Union's taking risk and continue to change what they're doing and not put out the same thing over and over and over again. Oh my yeah, who said that? Who said that? Anywho, I really like what Union does. The 2s, the 4s weren't so much my favorite, but again, I respect what they did there because they did something different. So I'm waiting to see them. I'm super excited. There's no date known on the release of the high yet. The AJKOs, I will put information on there in the a link to the story, so that way you guys can see as it keeps developing with that particular release. Next up, we're going to have a Jordan 12 release that a lot of sneakerheads, a lot of Jordan fans have been waiting for, myself included, because this was one of the first 3 Jordans I ever owned back in literally 1997. Yes, I'm that old, guys. The Cherry 12 is rumored to be making its, I guess, debut sometime this year. It's only been retro one time, and that was back in 2009, so a lot of sneakerheads have been asking for this one. The closest we've gotten so far has been a Jordan 12 Low Golf in the Cherry, which very cool shoe. We have to talk about some golf shoes down the road, but very, very cool shoe. But it's nice to even have a little bit of hope that we could be getting a retro of that Jordan 12 in that cherry form, because that is just one of the more iconic sneakers out there, and one of the OG colorways we don't get as often. I mean, we get beat over the head with, bread this, white cement that, black cement that, but we never get the Cherry 12, except for one time after its original release. So I'm super excited to see what that has to offer. Again, it is just a rumor. We have no set release date just yet. It's developing, you know how it goes. Typically, it will happen, but when will it happen? When will they officially release it? Because I'm pretty sure Nike is the one who puts out these leaks half the time just to get us excited. So I think the rumors around the holiday season, because we are getting playoff 13s for All-Star, so just kind of follow up with the Cherry 12 sometime later in the year. And hey, hopefully they do like playoff 12s and just sit, because I really want a pair of those as well. So hopefully, again, to all us Jordan 12 Cherry fans out there, we're able to get our hands on a pair. All right, guys, so I know the reason you clicked on this story because you're like, Mike has lost his mind. Why is he even talking about Crocs and Jordan brand in the same sentence? Well, this is going to be more on the business side of things. I was looking up a story on, I want to say footwear news. I'll put a link down to all the stories, of course, to make sure you see all my sources. But it is reported that Crocs is expected to have a revenue for 2022 of $3.55 billion. And yes, that's a billion with a B. You people love Crocs. And I say that because I can't do it, guys. I can't, and maybe I need to try, but they're just so silly looking to me. I can't get past the look of a Croc. I know Robbie, by the way, you can see us playing back there. If you haven't checked out Sneaker History Podcast, go ahead and do so, both on YouTube and all the streaming platforms. But Crocs, I don't understand the appeal. The Salehi Crocs, yeah, they look a whole lot better. I can maybe do that one, but I don't understand the appeal. But that's not for me. Clearly, it doesn't matter what I think, because a revenue of $3.55 billion. And no, the title of the video is a bit facetious because, yes, I know they didn't jump over the Jumpman, but guys, Jordan brand is projected to make a $5 billion revenue for 2022. Crocs, that sells a foam shoe sandal thing, is going to make only $1.5 billion yet less. Yes, I know that's a lot of money. $1 billion is a big difference. But think of what they're selling. You have this whole like sneaker culture around Jordan brand and the thing, they're the big push at all like the retros and performance shoes, and the cost of a Jordan is so much higher than a Croc, and they're making $5 billion, which is nothing to scoff at. That's freaking amazing. But a Croc foam shoe, just that anybody will buy. There's no kind of, I don't want to say no kind of culture behind it. It's more like grab and go. Hey, I want something comfortable to go walk the dog or go to the mailbox. Or on the flip side, the kids now or people now they're kind of seeping into sneaker culture, and they have a projection for 2026. The plan they're on is to make a revenue of $5 billion. So they're not looking to stop. This foam shoe wave does not look to stop at any point in the near future. And Crocs is not. They're gonna keep taking your money, basically. And I'm not saying it in a messed up way. I just mean that they're gonna keep producing these shoes, because as long as you keep buying them, they're gonna keep making them. And for them to be making so much money, and I wish I knew what the revenue for, something like a New Balance, some of the smaller brands out there. And I say that smaller is kind of a weird thing to say, because those are still huge brands, but not the Nike or Adidas as a whole. That's why I picked Jordan brand, because it's a subset of Nike. But I want to know what those revenues look like in comparison. And I'm making the assumption that the material costs and the build out for a Croc shoe is very cheap. So I can only imagine what the profit looks like. So they didn't release that yet. I mean, we'll get that later once, all the finances are done, years close out. But I was just mind blown at the fact that they made billions of dollars from a foam shoe. So you guys, you keep doing it, Crocs. You guys are killing it. Never would have guessed, because that is not a shoe for me, but apparently it's a shoe for the masses. So I want to keep an eye on that, because I'm really, really intrigued on, their business. All right, just need a quick reload on caffeine so we can get into some of the releases. So first things first, on January 13th, we're gonna have the release of the Nike Dunk Low in the bagel colorway. I guess that's not an SB. This would have been. It seems more like an SB colorway, but it's not. So it is what it is there. But next up, on the 14th, we're going to have the release of the Jordan 5 Women's Dunk on Mars, which looks to be almost like a faded, more oranges tint version of the Jordan 5 Raging Bull, which actually I think I might actually like this one more. Maybe sacrilegious to Jordan fans out there, but I think this one, something about the color, I don't know, seems more wearable than that deep red. This kind of burnt, kind of faded red. I think I like it a little bit more, especially as the orange hits on the teeth. This one, not gonna buy it, but for anybody looking for a different Jordan 5, I think this one may be a good look for them. Also on January 14th, we're gonna have the release of the Jordan 1 True Blue, which, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first Jordan 1 release of the year. Personally, this is a very weak release to me. I mean, it's a Jordan 1, throw in the true blue colorway, great. They have the gray heel, not too much to write home about. Again, if you like a Jordan 1, they seem to be easier and easier to get, so go ahead and grab your pair. Seems to probably be a very easy to wear Jordan 1, so if you want one that's gonna match a lot of items, throw on with jeans, khakis, whatever, check out the Jordan 1 True Blue. Now, moving on to the 17th, I brought this one up because this one just blew my mind. On January 17th, we're getting a Slam Jam Air Force 1 Low. You guys can see the picture, right? You see why I'm confused? It's an all black Air Force 1 Low and an all white Air Force 1 Low with like a canvas patch in the middle or mesh patch. Why? And I think they're 160, 180 bucks. Who's buying this? That leather better be straight off the cow amazing, because there is no way in the world I would spend my money on that and I can just go get a generic, you know, Air Force 1, or even at the same token, at least the Supreme one has a Supreme box logo on it. I mean, I'm not saying that's any better, but at least it has something, you know, I guess different. I don't understand this one, but hey, if you do like it, again, my opinions are my opinions. You like what you like. Slam Jam Air Force 1 Low in the black and the white colorway drop on the 17th. And we actually have a couple items releasing on the 19th to round out our releases for the week, and that is going to be one, our bi-monthly restock of pandas, both in high and low form. I'm not talking crap about pandas anymore. There's no reason to. I think the only reason I was talking nonsense because I just kept, you know, the hype behind them. But there's nothing wrong with the shoe. Black and white shoe goes with anything. If you haven't gotten yet, don't buy them on resale market. Go ahead and grab a pair because you're getting both the highs and the lows. And they're probably full family sizing, honestly. So go ahead and check them out. Looks like they're releasing everywhere. And if you check sporadically, a lot of places are getting the highs just kind of thrown out in boutique stores. So go ahead and check those out if you need a pair of pandas. Next up on the 19th, one I'm kind of excited for, or at least I want to try, is going to be the men's version of the Vomero 5. Clearly it's come out before, but the Nike Zoom Vomero 5 is coming back. Women's released last week, men's releasing on the 19th. The price point's kind of high. It's really, I feel like Nike trying to ride the New Balance wave, which is, hey, if it's working, it's working. But it's supposed to be one of the most comfortable shoes. I haven't tried it yet, so look for a review on those soon if I'm able to get a pair, because I'm not spending more than retail. And then last, we're going to have Sean Wotherspoon coming back with his Adidas Orketro. God, I think I say that wrong all the time. Orketro is the shoe. It's a retro running inspired sneaker. He's coming back. Hadn't heard from him in a while, but looks to be a pretty cool shoe. I guess really more just the colors he puts on it on this one, but seems pretty clean. If it sits around, maybe I'll try that one out. But that is the roundup of releases I have for this week. Guys, let me know if there's anything I missed. Let me know if there's some news stories you'd like me to cover on next week's episode. But until next time, guys, see ya.